I think the problem with the Xoom 125 is, if you're an average rider riding in average way, this feels like a really nice scooter, but not necessarily a sporty scooter.
Okay.
When you decide that I'm going to put in the effort, then you're like, oh yeah, it is a fast scooter.
But
It
you're
is
literally then
so
doing
much,
this.
yeah, it is so much work that your impression is never saying, wow, so much response. Your impression is, yeah, it's going. To ride, this is actually a really fun scooter because it corners really, really well. It's a stable, confident, and that's slow speeds, that's U-turns, and that's fast corners when you can find them. In the Vasant Kunj area, there are a couple of back roads that go a little bit towards the forest where there are turns. Some of them were quite broken up, and through that, the scooter basically held its line. I'm happy. This is what I expect a sporty scooter to do. It did that. So it's confident, it's stable. I trusted it. We are done. The scooters were quite severely overinflated. I think their pressure gauge was busted. So I went out of the hotel. It started to bounce. I came back and checked the tire pressure, and I had really good ride quality.
Oh.
Okay, so you're going to hear slightly bouncy. May not actually be the case if they check the tire pressure. So I'm just warning you.
Rattly then.
It didn't rattle, but it felt like the tire, you know how an overinflated tire sort of bounces. It felt like before the suspension could start doing anything, the tire already bounced the scooter.
Okay.
So I basically went out of the hotel and came right back. Took out my pressure gauge and just double checked. It was 2.5 over, 2.5 over.
Okay.
The odd thing about the scooter is that the pressures for solo and two up are the same. So it's 22, 29.
Okay.
And the scooter was running, I think, 25 and 33 or something like that. So it was severely overinflated.
Okay.
So when I brought it down and went out, the bumps sort of disappeared. And this the Destiny also does. In the Destiny's case, it doesn't have a preload adjustment at all, but it is set up for two up people. So I bounced around that thing for a day and I couldn't understand how Hero had messed up the suspension so much.
I was just going to come to this because the one thing I remember him talking, I know the Destiny view will come, but the one thing that Shumi did mention was that it bounces.
Yeah, the rear of the Destiny bounces.
Yeah, the rear.
Yeah. And then when I sat a pillion with me, immediately the ride quality stabilized. And they said, yes, but from whatever we understand, the Destiny is going to be used two up more often than not. One preload collar was required to solve this. Even if the customers don't use it, you should have given the option. And when somebody comes to the dealership and starts complaining, you just lower their preload or raise their preload and solve it for them, right? It'd be easy. But you haven't done it. Here, it's tuned mostly for solo riding. And Hero does good setups.
Yeah.
So this is a good setup. There's very little in the road that upsets this scooter. You can go through stuff and it feels sporty in the sense of my wheel moved, but it was a precise movement, not like a general absorption. So very, very good setup. You're really going to enjoy the ride quality, the handling and the manners of the scooter. The brakes can feel a little bit weak and it's more out of character than a problem, where the bite is a little bit weak followed by performance and the rear drum is a 130mm drum. That can really feel like it's out of it. It can feel like it's not slowing down the scooter enough. You realize it does, but the feeling is the rest of the scooter is quite sporty and this is not. But the funniest part is actually the engine. Okay. So on the Destiny 125, I loved that engine. I thought it was a very, very good engine. It had performance, it was quiet, it was refined enough, and fuel efficient, the whole thing, right? This is an updated version of the engine, so it has all of those qualities. Okay, so it's pretty smooth, it goes, it's energetic, but you don't feel like the scooter's going fast. But they're saying it's 0.8, 0.9 seconds faster to 60 than an Ntorq. But when you get on an Ntorq, it just goes. And this scooter feels like it's not going.
It feels too smooth.
No, and then I asked them the question. I said, did you put the Destiny's throttle on this scooter?
Okay.
And they did. So this is a sporty scooter running a family scooter throttle. What that means is you can't physically twist the throttle all the way. You can't do it.
It's too slow.
So you go like this and then you're stuck here, my shoulder's stuck already. And then I have to actually do this to get to full throttle. So the amount of work that it takes to open throttle fully and unlock the performance of the scooter, it's beyond the full range of movement.
Okay.
So if this scooter had a quicker throttle, and what that quicker throttle thing means is that if the throttle is at 0, how far do you have to go to full throttle, right? If I had to go all the way around, then that would be 360 degrees of throttle movement, right? A lot of scooters will run fairly large movement, and the advantage of large is it's easy to modulate. You can make a big change here, but the torque comes smoothly, so the overall experience feels controlled, modulated, and controllable, right? On a faster machine, you would basically reduce this and you would feel like I did this much and it responded so much and it improves your impression. I think the problem with the Xoom 125 is, if you're an average rider riding in average way, this feels like a really nice scooter, but not necessarily a sporty scooter. When you decide that I'm going to put in the effort, then you're like, oh yeah, it is a fast scooter.
But
But
you're
it is
literally then
so
doing
much,
this.
yeah, it is so much work that your impression is never saying, wow, so much response. Your impression is, yeah, it's going. So if I were riding a Xoom 125 and I was promised this Falcon thing, like the small grin Falcon, I would need a much quicker throttle on this, where without moving my hand too much, I could get to full throttle and then exploit the scooter for what it's worth. So it is a fast scooter, but when you take a test ride, I'm not convinced you're going to think of it anything more as energetic. So not enthusiastic like the Ntorq. The sound obviously is a TVS speciality. That Ntorq does sound.
Yeah, I was gonna ask
Doesn't
you.
have that. It has like a normal sound. It's not a quiet scooter. Like it's not silent like a Access might be. But I enjoyed my riding, but I was going 70 kmph, 75 kmph without looking in multiple places. You'll see this in the footage. But did I think, oh, fast? No, I didn't. I didn't.
Is it also because it's very smooth? Is it? I'm assuming the way you're
It
talking
is
about.
smooth, but the Ntorq is a reasonably smooth scooter always. But the idea is, hey, it's responding, it's moving, stuff is happening. This scooter doesn't feel like stuff is happening. This scooter is like, yeah, okay, let's do this. But it's not, come on, man, let's do this like a sporty machine might.
Okay.
So I think there's Hero's left a little bit on the table, as it were. I'm not saying this is necessarily a negative, but in terms of setting expectations, you're going to say, oh, Falcon, 0.8 seconds faster than an Ntorq, or 9.92 bhp or whatever versus 9.5 bhp. This is all going to happen. And then you're going to get on the scooter and say, oh, yeah, it goes, but you've just watched a 3 to 5 minute clip on the MotorInc Clips channel, which means either you are an exceptionally talented millennial or Gen Z, or you're a much older person. In either case, would you like a challenge? Our main channel has videos that are at least 5 to 8 times longer, and they make 5 to 8 times more sense, I promise. Would you like to check it out? Come to the MotorInc channel.